Alright guys, it's time for the final matchup of the day. This time it's Damo against Freddy, and let's get right to it. First off, we have Damo's lists, and Damo is bringing the same thing at Atsikov and Cole, more or less card for card. It's Pirate Cove, it's Deadeye Ambush, it's Reckless Flurry, and Uprising. There's one difference. So Cove is the same, Reckless Flurry is the same, Uprising is the same. So you've all seen these decks before, but he does have Deadeye Ambush. So Damo seems to think that in this strategy where you want to just avoid targeting, Elves are actually better than Gift. Now this is a little bit interesting because Elves probably play more into White Punish, but I also think it's a stronger deck. So I kind of have to make up your mind, like what do I want to do? What do I want to play the stronger deck, which I believe is Deadeye Ambush, that might be a little bit more susceptible to White Punishes and targeting, or do you bring the slightly weaker deck in Gift that is probably more difficult to target, but also has less points? Well, Damo went for this version. So if he goes up against some sort of lineup from Freddy that targets white, then he might get in trouble with this one. Then there's a Reckless Flurry deck, also just very nice point spammy, and Uprising Witches, right? But we will not talk too much about this lineup now because we have seen it 2 times before already. So let's go into Freddy's lineup. Because Freddy's lineup, we actually got a bunch of new decks. So let's get right into it. So, Freddy. First of all, there's a Cove deck. The Cove deck is a little bit different than the ones you usually see on ladder, but not a lot. So, first off, you got your Jack, you got your Professor, you got your Siggy, your Horson, blah blah blah. Then you got Morels. Morels is a tech card that you sometimes run, but not super popular. And then you got the Gnome as well, which is also a card that actually sees basically no play, but potentially gives you 9 coins. So it could basically be like a 14 for 7, if not answered. And there's the Soul as well. So you can see he's kind of tried to make the deck a little bit more engine heavy and given it a bit of 12 punish as well. Then we got Deadeye Ambush. And this is also not a normal deck. Like, this is an elf deck with scenario and everything, but also with a bunch of engines. So you're kind of combining a deck that has a lot of point spam with some strong engines as well, and then some troll punish from the heat wave. So kind of and also a spores. So like it's a deck that can answer defender with the zapper, then you have 2 troll punishes in the spores and the heat wave. Generally speaking, this would probably be very good into the likes of Kelly and Vi, I would say. Also because you have double movement, so against Kelly you can really be annoying. And Vi, I think two troll punishes are usually enough when you have this many engines. Then there is Imprisonment. This is a ball deck, but with a few different cards than you usually see. So it's a deck that plays Anna, which is a card that didn't really see much play in the beginning, mainly because back when Anna was introduced, everyone wanted to play Cantarella and double coup on your double coup. Double Joachim with coup, right? So you can like basically play Joachim 4 times. And the issue with that is that if you go for your Joachim round 1, then you might accidentally pull your Anna, and Anna will just override your leader ability and actually probably be a very bad play. But here instead, Anna is essentially just a very, very nice value card. Like basically Freddy is saying, I think that my opponent will bring leaders that will be good for my Anna. And if we just go back, we can take a look like how good will this Anna actually be. So against Pirate's Cove, that would be 8 points, plus potentially being able to spend some of the coins you get from his Assimilate cards. Against Deadeye Ambush, it's worth 9 points, which is also pretty solid, like 12 points for Anna, that's not bad. Reckless Flurry, kind of the same, but 9 damage this time, which is probably better, to be honest. And against Uprising, it's 3 points and a Scytheman, which probably would be worth a bunch of points. So I would actually say that for against Damo, this Anna is actually going to be incredibly strong. He does have to be careful with the Joachim, but in this deck you probably only play Joachim 2 times, and that is in round 3 with Joachim and Ku, and you can just try to be aggressive with your leader charges before you play the Joachim, so you don't end up in a situation where you accidentally get your Anna too soon. And then finally we got Shield Wall. And this is a Shield Wall deck with Redea and Siridash and some greedy engines like Anna and Visigoth. A really, really weird deck here. Like you can see there are so many 4-piece in this deck. Like it's actually crazy. They have really tried to just get as much of like a strong high end into this deck at the expense of so many bad cards. Like there is an Environmancy, there is a Maxi, and I guess they're just trying to see if they can make these bronze cards play for decent enough value just to survive, and then really just destroy the opponent with these gold cards. And overall, I would say that for Freddy's lineup, it's a lineup that really likes to punish Troll, and go very heavily on engines. Now, if you try to go back to the lineup that Damorquis was bringing, then does he really go Troll for any of these decks? No, he doesn't. Like, Cove goes like medium Troll, but I mean, not in a big way, and Cove is so strong anyway that he's probably fine. That Ambush doesn't go Troll at all. Reckless Fury, you have 1 or 2 cards that can go Troll, but you should adapt. Like, if you know that you don't have last say, you just mulligan away your cards to go Troll. So he should be fine with that one as well. And Uprising, kind of the same thing. You have a few cards that go like medium, like the Scytheman and Leo, but it's not too bad. You can just, like, you know, play them with last say, probably use them as reach cards. So I think it's like a pretty close matchup, because at the same time, like, there are very greedy cards in Freddy's lineup. Again, like the Viso, like Ball, like Gesra, like Feign Death, and Dam doesn't really have that many tools to answer them. There are no heat waves, and like, I think he might struggle to deal with some of these cards. So I would say that, like, it's like some very interesting matchups we're going to see that we're not very used to seeing from ladder. And I can honestly see this one going either way. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this sort of like mini-series where we talked about all the different cards and interactions in today's tournament. Let me know what you think of it, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.